I was saying this morning when I was coming for the first service when we were here, it was so beautiful to see, without anybody being in the congregation, the parking lot was half full, with just the people who were going to be sharing the music with us, which is just incredible. Look what we've got here, folks. This is unbelievable. Amen. I opened my door to, it's like, whoa, man. I don't know what's going to happen today, but I'm sure grateful to be here. That's for sure.
Where are you going, cowboy?
I don't know. Ask the horse. Unconscious evolution, right? I don't know. Ask the horse. I don't know. Ask the government. I don't know. Ask the Democrats, the Republicans. I don't know where I'm going. I'm out of control. That's called unconscious evolution. Pretending we don't know. Pretending our life is out of control. And the truth is, it's not. We can make decisions right now to no longer be a victim to going this way or going that way. We can learn how to ride the energies of our own spiritual nature. And that's what we're here to do. And if we don't do that, who will? And if you're not going to start doing it now, well then when are you going to do it? So we begin to take dominion over the only thing we have control over, and that's ourselves. Yes? That's where the difference makes. So we have these teachings that allow us to do just that. We're in the apocalyptic material of the revelation of the New Testimony. Many people are preaching from this right now, and I'm telling you, they're giving you all kinds of definitions about what this might mean for us. When we look at the word apocalypse, it comes from the Greek. It means revelation. It means end times. It means in order for something to be born new, something has to be let go of, right? And you breathe a breath in, and then you let go and you breathe the breath out, and then as you let it out, you hope you're going to be breathing another breath in. That's called an apocalyptic moment, where you breathe in and you breathe out. It also means allowing that which is hidden to be revealed. And what is that thing that's hidden in every one of us, Paula Zabkar? It is the Christ consciousness. It is the Buddha nature. It's the truth of our own being. It's in every one of us. Our Buddha Christ nature is there. We merely remove the blocks to the awareness of its presence. Of Course in Miracles says that, to allow it to unfold in us. So we are in some very interesting material about 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Now remember now, this represents 4 parts of our own being. As we look at this, remember this means you. I saw when the Lamb opened one of 7 seals, 7 chakras. And one of the 4 animals saying in a voice as if out of thunder, "Come and see." It's an invitation. Do you feel that? Come and see. Come and see. And I looked and I beheld a white horse. And he who sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given him. And he went forth conquering and to conquer. This means our power center, the white horse. Come and see. And when he opened the 3rd seal, there was another horse, and it was red. And to him who sat on him was given power to take away peace from the earth, that people should kill one another. And there was given to him a great sword. This is our emotional, our feeling nature. We're talking about that today. And when he opened the 3rd seal, I heard the 3rd animal say, "Come and see." That invitation, that's so sweet. Come and see. Don't have all the answers. Ask the right questions. Yes? And when you listen, you'll get your answer. Come and see. I saw a black horse, and he who sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. That's our intellect. And when he had opened the 4th seal, I heard the 4th animal saying, "Come and see. Come and see what this is." And this was the green horse, and the name of him was Death, and Sheol followed after him. This is about our physical nature. We talked about that last week. We said that was the first horse that comes out of the womb of our being, our physical body. We're in a physical body. How many here are not in a physical body? We do have people in Unity who think they're not in a physical body, but they're still sitting there with what looks like a physical body to me. The physical body is a great teacher. And whether you're feeling like a young colt, full of yourself, or you're somewhere in the middle in the aches and pains, or you're feeling like you're going out to pasture, the body can, or you're healthy or you're sick, wherever you are, the body can be a great teacher. It can be a great anchor to bring heaven on earth. And so now we're going to sit on and be aware of and be present with the red horse. That is the emotional nature. The emotional nature that's in the heart, the feeling nature. And we all had teachers who taught us about how to deal with our feelings. My first teacher, you've heard about him before, was my father Alvin. My father Alvin Harrison Levy. He was a rageaholic, man. My dad was a crazy man, just completely out of control. That's what I learned about how to deal with your feelings. Project them out on others. That was my dad. And boy, somebody every day got it. And you just prayed it wasn't you. And one of the big moments when my dad would go particularly nuts was when he was docking his boat. And his boat is called the Reality. Today's horse is called Red Horse. And his boat was red. Red Horse Reality. R-I for Richard, dash, A-L for Al, I-T-Y for Rita. That was the woman he was with then. Debbie's name never got in there, my youngest sister. And she's still dealing with that. But that's another talk. So my dad, when he'd be backing his boat into a slip, that would be a particularly terrible moment for someone who was standing ready to help with the lines. And I would stand there with my two sisters, younger and older, and I would pray that they didn't do it wrong. Because if you did it wrong, my dad would let you know. And even though you might be a complete stranger, he would literally go ballistic if you didn't do it the way he thought you should. And no matter what you did, you didn't do it right. I remember one time, my dad having a fist fight with someone, a stranger on a dock, because he didn't handle a line right. This man who came to help, and he's my crazy dad. So I grew up with some interesting energy around feelings and what to do with them. Anybody relate to what I'm talking about? By the way, this is all inside of you and me. There's nothing wrong with having a strong feeling nature. I have lots of passion in my belly. I'm grateful for it. Passion. Think of the word. P-A-S-S-I-on. Yes? Passion. Passing your eye on. Passion. Good energy. Nothing wrong with it. When we master that part of ourselves, or at least bring awareness to it, well then we can dock our boat pretty much anywhere we want to and create a reality that's aware of what lies right underneath all of that. So I began to work with that in myself on a wonderful moment in 1972 when we started, Science of Mind Church. Maureen and I started to go to the Science of Mind Church when we were in our 20s. And a man named Reverend Ben Winter, who was the teacher there, came up and he said to me, "You have a conscious mind, and the thoughts that you think are like seeds, and they go into your subconscious mind, and then it produces what you see after it's kind. You are not imprisoned with your old genetic coding. You can begin to plant different seeds in the soil of your subconscious mind and produce a whole new life after it's kind." I'm telling you, I was on fire with this. This was a great idea. I didn't need to be a slave. I didn't need to keep running people off the road emotionally or do the other thing I did as the middle child. Oh, please, have everything be nice so Daddy doesn't get mad. We all relate to that as well, too. I went from both extremes. So began to become no longer a victim of a horse out of control, but one who could begin to work with that energy. And I want to tell you that you just do that once and it's over with, but I'm sorry, it does not work that way. We've been at this for how long now, honey? For a zillion, quadrillion, long time years. And this is just a few moments ago, and I'm actually going into the car inspection place to get our car inspected for getting our license tags. And there's 6 lines, and it's I've already meditated, so I'm supposed to be in my really calm place, and we look at the 6 lines, and you always pick the line you think is going to be the fastest, right? And so I'm in the line that we think is going to be fast, and sure enough, not only is it not the fastest line, but the stupid exhaust machine is broken in that line. They can't get it fixed. So I'm sitting there and I'm watching the boat of my emotional nature start to pull in to the old slip of my old reality. And I go, you know what? I am not going there. And I saw a tree. It was literally sitting right in front of the 6 car lanes. And I said, I'm going to go sit under that tree. So I got out of the car, and Maureen goes, good idea. And as I'm walking by this truck that's parked there, I noticed that I have on this t-shirt. This t-shirt says, "Peace is every step." And I start to laugh hysterically. Peace is every step. Every step of the way. Liberty, responsibility, and the pursuit of happiness. Peace is every step. And of course, then I am laughing absolutely hysterically at myself. And in that moment, I'm back on board again. Being able to be responsible for the only choice I have, and that's how to work with what's going on inside of myself. And I take my seat and sit down and calm down. I don't want to underestimate the importance of those little moments that make up a whole day. You getting on top of that is a huge revelation. And particularly right away in the morning. If you start going crazy right away in the morning before, noontime, it's going to be hard to compensate for it. By the end of the day, someone's going to get it. So you begin to work on it and work with it. And you'll never stop having to check out what your t-shirt says. I'll never have to stop listening to my own talks over and over and over again. Yes, here it is. Peace is every step. But the work with the heart, the anahata chakra, the Buddhists call it in Sanskrit, is the work to be done. It's the part that remains unconscious. It's the place we don't see. And when we begin to do the inner work with what we're not seeing, what we have not been seeing and not feeling shows itself to us. When we do the work with the heart, we begin to do the work of looking at our grief and our sorrow and our anger and all the things that we don't quite ever look far enough to find. We don't want to just take a lot of truth principles and pile them on top of a whole lot of unresolved issues and tissues. We take a look, when we settle the body down, we take a look at, well, what is going on in my heart? What have I been running away from for all these years? We just bring awareness to the moment, and it brings up our sorrow, and it brings up our guilt and our shame. We get to look at those things inside of ourselves, because if we aren't going to do that work, then we just project it out on others to try to get rid of it. We have to own it inside of ourselves. Otherwise, we'll do the same oil slick of impermanence we do all the time and blame everybody else. And there's this huge ocean of energy wanting to heal us, but we have to first be willing to work with and heal ourselves. I've been watching a lot of horsey movies because I'm doing this series on the 4 Horsemen. I'm always looking for material. And I'm looking at Seabiscuit. I haven't seen Seabiscuit in a long time. I love Seabiscuit. That's a great movie. And there's one particular moment in it where the father who's adopted the jockey, who's now kind of his son because he lost his son, he looks at him while the son is in the middle of a rage, and he says to him, "What are you so angry at, son? What are you so angry at?" And we who are watching the movie, we who are witnessing the movie, we know what it is. We know why he's so angry. We have a big picture of what's going on. He was rejected as a child. He was given up for adoption. He had to fight his way to make any sort of headway in his life. His heart was completely armored. We had that picture. When we begin to do this work, we begin to get that picture of ourselves. We begin to witness ourselves from a bigger vantage point than just what's going on the surface of the moment. When you do that kind of work, it has an incredible effect, not just for yourself, but for countless others as well. Going into and entering into the heart and just seeing, well, what is present there? What has been ruling my life? Because the things that are unacknowledged rule your life. The things you fear most and are most afraid of always come upon you. So who can make that conscious if not you? Who's going to do this work if we're not going to do it? So we're willing to take that look at our hearts. First settle our body, and then look at, well, what is going on in my heart today? What can I look at today? What can I accept in myself and love in myself today? Because the truth is, you cannot hear God's voice clearly until you're willing to listen to your ego's version first.